So I woke up and found that 7 Days to Die have released an update to the experimental branch. And this was released 13 hours ago by the Funs Pimps staff, and it's on the forums. And I only found this out basically because when I was on Steam, there's a little small update patch note at 4:12 AM this morning. So in order to get this, remember you have to go into 7 Days to Die right here, and then you gotta go into properties, betas, and then from the betas you want to drop it down and you want to select latest experimental. Once you've selected that, it'll just update the game. It'll take a moment, and then basically you'll be in the experimental branch. But let's just have a look and see what's actually in the experimental branch, and see if there's anything notable to look at, really. So it looks like they've made a whole array of improvements to basically the POIs. Like you see here, we've got updates to downtown, updates to remnant business, store bugs, hot modern house changes, and I'm not going to go through any of these. Basically these are just all like block fixes, bug fixes to all the POIs, and if you want to peruse the patch notes for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description below. But let's just go through and see if there's any kind of notable improvements or fixes or changes that we as players would probably be more interested in. So it looks like they've added the probability of adding more books in book piles in the cracker bookshelves. This is a needed improvement. I definitely felt like there was less books in the shelves and stuff like that. So this is a nice improvement. But I don't know, does this, now that I've experienced that with the less books, it kind of makes the game a little bit longer. But I feel like that's a good thing. But I don't know, maybe you guys feel a little bit different than that and you kind of want to see the books like straight away. But for me, I didn't really mind it. I did feel kind of disheartened that there was no books, but you know, that it is what it is. It's so you get a few books in the bookshelves. That's nice. Mailboxes have a higher chance to spawn archery, spear, and needle and thread books in game. Okay, well, why game? I don't know why game. That's nice. Does this include just the mailboxes at the houses, in front of houses, or does that include the new ones? You know, like the newsstand mailboxes in the cities? I wonder if that includes that. Be interesting to find out. Rework tier chest loot to better reflect POI difficulty. I definitely felt this was off balance. Higher POIs definitely didn't feel like they were worth to do, especially with the changes into, say, like the cracker book, for example. There's definitely less loot areas and loot chests in there than the previous cracker book, and when you got there, when you completed it, you got like the equivalent of like tier 3 stuff. It just wasn't the main. Hopefully that's fixed that now. They've also added the reduced amount of aloe cream found in backpacks. It is what it is. And this one's a massive one. Increase the chance to find acid in sinks and chemical sets. This is going to save ourselves a lot of headaches. There's a lot of people out there that are on like day 15 already and they still haven't got a chem station because they need the acid and they just can't find it anyway. So this is a very nice change. There's also added another low chance to find vehicle wheels in passing gas crates. That's also nice. This also reduces the requirement to get acid as well. So if you can find the wheels straight away, you don't need the acid to make wheels. So that's quite nice. There looks like there seems to be a few new blocks that players can craft from what I can see. So they've moved the cabinets, cupboards, and bookshelves to new player craft helper block. Move the storage crate and writable crate to their own recipe. Okay, so does that mean that you no longer have to craft them, so you don't have to like select the R and then change it? I don't know, we'll have to have a look. Move the old chair out of the chair helper and gave it its own recipe. Added produce baskets, pallets, and empty cloth shoulder to furniture helper. Okay, I don't know what the furniture helper is. I'm guessing that's just the building block that you can do, which is kind of nice, I guess. Cut game stage achievements in half. I don't know what the achievements were in the first place, so that'll be interesting to find out what that is. And then the penetrator perk, just some text fixes here. Penetrator now refreshes lever action rifle instead of marksman rifle. Updated furniture helper block. Again, drone description no longer references the ability to fight. And then here's some big one. Here's reduced ammo loot count by 15 to 30%. Reduce the amount of ammo found in yellow loot bags from large to medium groups, and reduce the amount of ammo found in blue zombies loot bags from 2 large rolls to 1. So basically what that means is that when you kill a zombie and you get a loot bag, you're gonna get less ammo than what you are currently now. And again, remember, this is experimental, so depending on how people feel in experimental, these will be made into stable. So yeah, there is definitely abundant of ammo in the game, so they've reduced that now, which I think is a fair balance, I think. And here we have just some fixes as well. Again, I'll skip over the things from the POI and I'll just skim through anything that's kind of notable for us as players. So it looks like they fixed treasure maps, calculated location from 0, 0. So this would explain why when you get the treasure map and let's say you're in the top east, northeast of the map, when you read the treasure map and it's like way off in the center, this explains why. It was originally basing off from 0, 0. So hopefully now treasure maps will calculate from where you read the location. It shouldn't be like, you know, 4 or 5k away. So that's quite nice. Confuse does not affect vehicle control. I don't know what confuse is, so I'm just going to skip over this. But the next one, drones can fall under bedrock and get stuck. So they've fixed that, so that's quite nice. Workbench, not crafting multiple of items correctly if output slot full and placed directly in player inventory. So what does this mean? Workbench not crafting multiples of items correctly if the output slot is full and placed directly into player inventory. I'm assuming this is like when you craft, I don't know, a butt ton of cobblestone and then the 6th output slot is full. Normally what would happen is that when you open the workbench, you would just get like a machine gun sound effect of all the crafting stuff and the countdown going down into your player inventory. I haven't come across that yet, but definitely in Alpha 19, you basically just hear like, and then it would just all go into your inventory, right? So maybe that was the thing that was happening and it wasn't outputting correctly, and hopefully that's corrected. So that's quite nice. And then there's a bunch of like hollow sight fixes as well. As you can see here, the SMG, Desert Eagle hollow sight, AK pump shot hollow sight, tactical AR off sight, dot alignment. There's a lot of like hollow sight, so I'm guessing they just fixed the hollow sight for like all the weapons. So I guess that's needed. I haven't come across a hollow sight to be used yet anyway, so I didn't notice this bug either, but that's quite nice that they fixed that. So now you can use the hollow sight and it's going to be accurate to what it says in the game. This one was a big one. Structure integrity is not recalculating when block pillar is recreated. So basically what was happening in game was that if you built like a structure on legs, you know, like block pillars, if you took out a block in the pillar in one of the legs and then replaced it and then did it over and over again, over time the structural integrity of the whole entire structure would not be recalculated, and it would reduce each time you do it to a point that the whole building would collapse, even the legs, right? So I guess this means that they've found that bug and they've fixed it, so now that when you take away the leg and then you put it back again, then yeah, it's gonna stay up. You're not gonna have a base falling. So that's definitely a much needed fix right there. Cellar door and shutter open and close issue. I don't know what the issue was, but glad they fixed it. And then there's a bunch of POI fixes as well. It looks like these are like the larger POIs, and I think that's it. The Twitch teleport while in a workstation UI does not close the UI. Again, this is only really for content creators. And then the vehicle and drones are using repair kits without showing the minus inventory icon on the HUD. So that's a nice quality of life change. Okay, well that's good. All right, well that's all the patch note, folks. Again, I just kind of skimmed through it just to highlight the things that were more noticeable for us, for players. All the POI stuff, I mean, it doesn't really affect us like super amount. I mean, we just players, we just go through like the POI anyway. If it's fixed, it's fixed. That's great. But yeah, if you guys want to check out the patch notes, I'll leave a link in the description below. And yeah, happy gaming, folks. Peace.